This is civic education, which is section C, and it's question 1. So the first question says, and the year it's 2025, which is GCE. So the paper is which year? 2025, which is GCE, and it's civic education. So the first question, which is C1, the question reads as, discuss 3 types of corruption. Discuss 3 types of corruption. So before you answer this question, you have to know all the 3 types of corruption. So what are these 3 types of corruption? We have got the first type of corruption, which is the first one, which is the petty corruption, followed by grand corruption. The third one is the political corruption. So let's start. So the way you answer this question, first you have to define what corruption is. So corruption is the giving of money, valuables, or rendering of service to someone. So corruption is the giving of money, valuables, or rendering of service to someone. So that is what corruption. So the following are some of the types of corruption. The following are some of the types of corruption. We have got the first one, which is what we call petty corruption. The second one, grand corruption. And the third one, which is the political corruption. So you have to define what petty corruption is. So petty corruption, this is the type of corruption which involves small amount of money. So petty corruption, this is the type of corruption which involves small amount of money. And these payments are called the bribes. We come to the second type of corruption, which is what we call grand corruption. This is the type of corruption which involves huge amounts of money, and it is usually done by high-ranking people. So grand corruption, this is the type of corruption which involves huge amounts of money, and it is usually done by high-ranking people. So this is how you define grand corruption. We come to the third one, which is what we call political corruption. So political corruption, this is the type of corruption is associated with the electoral process. Political corruption, this is the type of corruption is associated with the electoral process. It is usually practiced by those contesting for political powers. So we come to question B. So question B reads as, what are the roles of public officers and the community in the fight against corruption? So here you have been given 2 people who are the public officers and also the community. How can they fight corruption? So this is B. B, it was saying, what are the roles of public officers and the community in the fight against corruption? How can these 2 people fight against corruption? So these 2 people fight corruption. You say, this is how you answer it. So you say, this is B. You say, the following are some of the ways in which the public officers and the community can fight against corruption. How can the public officers and the community fight what? Corruption. Number 1, they can fight corruption by changing attitudes from tolerance to total rejection. So once they just observe that this is corruption, so they should change. This is why the answer says, by changing attitudes from tolerance to total rejection. to reject any form of corruption, then it can help to fight against corruption. The second one is by accessing information on procedures of how to deal with corruption cases. So the community and the public officers, they should do this by accessing information on procedures of how to deal with the corruption cases. The third point, by encouraging and supporting free press. By encouraging and supporting free press. Free press, it can be any advertisement which talks against corruption, which speaks negative about corruption, which talks about the side effects also, all those, etc., etc. You come to the last point, which is by supporting organization that fight against what? Corruption. So they should support organizations that are fighting against what? Corruption. So this is how you are able to answer this question, and it was section C, which is 2025 GCE, and it was question 1. Thank you for following. I hope you have enjoyed, and stay blessed. Subscribe so that you won't miss any video that I upload. Thank you very much. And if you want for online tuition, you can call 07733672231. This is the line that you can call, which is also on my page. I'll even post it.